I apologize for butchering that song. That is the song that Paz Linchantin, hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, sings on the new Head Carrier album that I'm so excited to talk about. So excited, in fact, that I have to talk to you on my phone because my Sony 5100, I let the batteries completely deplete, and so I'm talking on this phone. Not the best conditions, but the song that I was attempting to play very poorly is the song that she sings and that she co-wrote with Black Francis. And it's a cool song. I love it so much. It's called All I Think About Now. And it kind of, to me, it feels like it solidifies her entree into the Pixies. It's got this kind of nostalgic Surfer Rosa sound. It's kind of almost like Where's My Mind, some of the Joey Santiago licks, but kind of turned on their head. It's got this wide-eyed, looking forward tone to Paz's voice. It's kind of somber and sad, but at the same time, she just seems to be like swearing her allegiance to the Pixies, and it's like she's a Pixie now. And when she was on tour with the boys, you could see on the YouTube videos that there was a real sense of enjoyment with all of them enjoying, you know, the different songs they were doing last year and you know, around the Indie Cindy time and all that stuff. But back to Head Carrier. So I got kind of off the point. So Head Carrier is the 7th studio album by Pixies. I noticed some people are saying 6, but I'm counting 7. But let's not get stuck on that. But it's once again, Black Francis is mining, you know, some of the Catholic mythology like he does, and some of his Dadaistic type of songwriting, and it is a really good album. I mean, it feels very refreshing. It feels kind of like the band is tapping back into this kind of youthful exuberance and you know, an inspired sound that I wouldn't say they lost, but I think they just kind of, they're focused. This is a focused album. Interestingly enough, instead of going to you know, famed Liverpool producer Gil Norton, who did so much good work with them on Trump Le Monde, on Doolittle, Bossa Nova, Indie Cindy, and the related EP 1 and 2, they decided to switch it up, and they went with another English producer, Tom Dalgety, from Royal. He did work with Royal Blood, Killing Joke, and Opeth, and that was kind of a risky move, and I think that also signifies the Pixies' desire to take a chance, you know, to move away from the past and move forward. And the result has created a very defining record for them, a very defining record. You still have that Pixies, you know, proto-punk punch, but there is that new sense of playfulness, you know, that new sense of new beginnings. One of the tracks is called Classic Masher. And what's interesting to me about it is that, you know, it's got this kind of halftime, you know, kick drum beat, you know, dum, 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 bop, dum, 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 bop. And it's almost like, it reminded me almost instantly of Be My Baby by the Ronettes. And it conjures up kind of that 60s, you know, sock hop, torture sound, you know, torturous sound. It also made me think of, you know, Deadman's Curve and stuff like that. And what it said to me was that, you know, they're having fun, you know, they're playing around a little bit. And if you took it away from the Pixies sound, I mean, it's so Americana sounding that Bruce Springsteen could do this song and it wouldn't sound odd. And I don't mean that in any kind of a derisive way. I mean it in a really good way. The hook got me immediately. It's just real sweet, non-pretentious, and just a jubilant chorus. And that's the thing with this album. While some of the lyrics will veer dark, as any Pixies lyric will do, the sound of the the upswing and the different sounds that they're making musically, in a lot of ways, has a very joyous feel to it. And I think that, again, just is an excitement that you can feel on this album. The title track, Head Carrier, which is kind of steeped in the Christian martyrdom story of Saint Denis, who, as the mythology goes, while the Bishop of Paris, he was decapitated, and he walked with his own head for 6 miles while preaching a sermon of repentance. It's Joey Santiago's guitar work. It's incredible on this album. The sound of the album is incredible. Drum sound too, which kind of takes you back to Steve Albini at the beginning. But Tom Dalgety, who I don't know much about, he really was able to engineer a really punchy sound. The sound is produced. It is produced, but it doesn't sound overly so. It sounds really good. Other songs that I love on this album is songs like Bel Esprit. It has, really pretty guitar sounds that kind of tweak and harmonize with each other. It's got the Black Francis and Paz doing the back and forth vocals and then singing together. It's probably my favorite song on the album, although there's many songs vying for favorite, and they'll probably change from day to day. But something about that song, Bel Esprit, it is an uplifting, just a big smile of a song. Love the song called Una. It's got really big guitars. It creates this kind of real abstract atmosphere. They've released a song, Chugalaga, which is actually about, rural roadside prostitution in Belgium and France. And it really, when I first heard it, I was taken kind of aback. Like, that was kind of odd, but it also, I flashed immediately on Isla de Encanta from Come On Pilgrim, because it has that same kind of freewheeling berserk sound, and it kind of has a Stranglers vibe to me, a little bit. The track All the Saints is very, very dreamy, and it feels kind of like a swan song of sorts. It has like these eternal questions and wondering why I'm still here. Too many times I had fear trying to be near you. And it again, you don't want to see too much or read too much into Black Francis's lyrics because of the way he writes, but that does also evoke some kind of opinion about the whole Pixies arc, and the whole Kim Deal thing and everything. I think I was the first person to publicly write a review of Head Carrier, and I kind of, I put the review out a little bit too soon. It kind of got lost in the wash, and American Pancake is not one of the biggest blogs, so that's going to happen anyways. Balls Back. I mean, it is just a heavy, full lean rocker with Black Francis spewing that good scream, Talent. That song is, it just jams. And again, that's kind of a homage to the Stranglers, if you will. Tenement Song has so many individual killer parts. And again, Joey's guitar lines amidst all that furious sound is just fucking ridiculous. He still is the guitar god. In fact, I wrote in the review that Balls Back might just be about him, because he's back in all his god rock guitar glory. I can't say enough about this album. It's a great album that gets better with each listen. I did have some reservations about this album because I knew a lot of critics were going to be, you know, jumping all over it and whatnot. And in its totality, it is just a solid album, especially when you listen to it in its entirety. It feels good together in the order of the songs and all that. The Pixies have become a little bit less hard. They've become a little bit less abstract. And every critic wants them to, you know, somehow go back in time and be up to that iconic level that they were. And I find that just odd that critics don't want to give them their space to do what they're doing at this time. You know, it would be tantamount to, you know, a 50-something-year-old, you know, trying to, you know, squeeze into skinny jeans. It would be embarrassing. They're not going to be in their same headspace. They're not going to be singing about the same things. They need to be doing what they're doing now, and what they're doing now is damn good, really good. Head Carrier does have, you know, some softer edges around it, but the sound, the melodies, the progressions have this, you know, tender, sweet vibe amidst all the fury that they're known for. And it also feels, Head Carrier also feels like more than just an album. It feels like a stellar introduction to the newest Pixie, Paz, and kind of a fond farewell to that former Pixie who walked away. And it feels like a bright new beginning. The songs are just, you know, they're furious, they're punchy, they're the Pixies, but they're also reflective, and I hope people enjoy it. I know that the fans are going to enjoy it. The Pixies and you know, Charles he's never cared about the critics that much, and that's something I admire about his attitude and his real blue collar work ethic when that all has to do with his output of music and why he does music and why he uses it as an avocation, you know. I think he's always realized that it is an art, but it's also a business, and you need to, you know, make money at your avocation. And he's damn good at it. They're all damn good at it. So I highly recommend Head Carrier. Sorry I have to do this review on this phone video instead of the Sony, but shame on me for letting the batteries expire. I tried to charge them up as quick as I could, and I figured, you know what, with my work schedule, I'm not going to be able to do this review tomorrow. So this is unfortunately as good as it gets. So Head Carrier, I don't assign number scores to album reviews because I think that's kind of silly. But if I were to do that, Head Carrier would be a solid 8.5 all day long. So please, hope you guys check it out, and let me know what you think below. And please check out the blog. You know, I always need more people to check out the blog and support American Pancake. Thank you all. Bye-bye. I suck.